What rights do people have over land, and where do they come from? How can we distribute land to meet overall societal satisfaction? Welcome to the Echoes Across the Valley, and today we are going to talk about the land tenure system in East Africa. Land tenure system refers to the system of ownership, control, and use of land within a society. It explores who has rights over land and how these rights are acquired, transferred, and protected. In East Africa, land tenure systems have been deeply influenced by traditional African customs, colonial rule, and post-independence reforms. Understanding land tenure system is crucial because land has always been at the center of politics, identity, and economic survival in the region. To understand the origin of land rights, we have to go back all the way to the beginning and explore the historical background to land ownership. In East Africa, different regions developed unique systems of land ownership that reflect their cultural and political histories. Land distribution varied by region and political organization. In centralized societies like Uganda, land was traditionally controlled by the kings. For example, in Uganda, the Kabaka had absolute ownership over the entire land in the kingdom and distributed it to chiefs and nobles as he wished. However, after the 1900 Uganda Agreement, the British divided the land into two Milo land and Crown land. Milo land was given to the Kabaka and his chiefs with permanent land titles. The peasants or commoners living on such land were required to pay rent, also known as obusulu, to the landlords. In eastern Uganda, among groups like the Basoga and Iteso, land was mainly held communally under clan leaders. Chiefs controlled allocation, but no one could permanently alienate clan land. In western Uganda, in kingdoms like Ankole, Tolo, and Bunyolo, land was owned by the kings and chiefs, but peasants were allowed to cultivate it freely. With colonial influence, however, land became more individualized in that region. In northern Uganda, among the Acholi, Langi, and other non-centralized societies, land was communal, owned by clans and distributed for household use. Colonial policies introduced freehold land tenure here, but communal ownership still dominates today. In Uganda today, the system of land ownership is not uniform. It varies across regions, shaped by history, colonial legacies, and traditional practices. In the central region, land is dominated by the Milo land tenure system, which was introduced through the 1900 Uganda Agreement. Chiefs, royals, and nobles were allocated square miles of land, and this created a system where landlords hold legal titles while tenants, known as abebibanja, also enjoy occupancy rights. This arrangement has made Milo both unique and controversial, as it sometimes creates conflicts between landlords and tenants. Alongside Milo land, leasehold tenure is also common in urban centers such as Kampala, Mukono, and Entebbe, where land is leased from the Buganda Kingdom, religious institutions, or government for development. In western Uganda, land is mainly under customary tenure. Here, families and clans own land communally, and inheritance plays a major role in access to land. Customary land has remained dominant because many areas in western Uganda were not deeply affected by colonial agreements like Uganda. However, in towns like Mbarara, Fort Portal and Kasese, leasehold and freehold tenure have expanded as government and individuals formalize land ownership for commercial agriculture and real estate development. In northern Uganda, customary land tenure is by far the most widespread. Land is typically owned and managed by clans, with elders determining access and usage. Because of years of war and displacement, particularly during the Lord Resistance Army insurgency, many land disputes still arise as families reclaim ancestral lands. Unlike Uganda, northern Uganda has almost no mile land and freehold is limited. In urban centers like Gulu, Kitugumu, and Lira, however, leasehold and some freehold systems have emerged to support urban development and investment. In conclusion, altogether, Uganda's land tenure systems today, Milo in central, customary in the north and west, freehold and leasehold in towns, reflect a mixture of indigenous traditions and colonial legacies shaping the way Ugandans live, farm, and invest in their regions. Lastly, let us discuss the 4 major types of land ownership in Uganda. Freehold. Freehold is the strongest form of land ownership in Uganda, where an individual or institution holds land permanently. The owner has full rights to sell, transfer, or lease it, making it a secure and absolute form of ownership. The second is customary tenure system, which is deeply rooted in Uganda's traditions. Here, land is owned communally by clans or families, and rules of access are guided by culture rather than formal titles. This system is still dominant in many parts of eastern and northern Uganda, where land is passed down from one generation to another. The third is leasehold. Unlike freehold, leasehold grants ownership for a specific period, usually 49 or 99 years, often from government, religious institutions, or private landlords. It is common in towns and cities where land is leased for development or investment purposes. Finally, we have the Milo land tenure system. It was introduced under the 1900 Buganda Agreement, when land was divided and given to chiefs, royals, and nobles in square miles, hence the name Milo. Today, it remains controversial because it creates a dual ownership system. Landlords hold the titles, while tenants or abebibanja holds the rights of occupancy. In conclusion, together, these 4 systems, freehold, customary, leasehold, and Milo, form the backbone of Uganda's land ownership structure today. They reflect both the country's traditional heritage and its colonial past, shaping the way Ugandans access, use, and transfer land. What do you think about Uganda's land ownership system? Let me know in the comment section below. Will it build a class if you like and follow this channel? If no, please like this video and follow my channel so you don't miss any other video. Once again, it's your teacher, Mr. Serunkuma Mzafal, for the Echoes Across the Valley. Let me catch you on the next one.